Hey, good evening, everyone. Come on in and join me right now. I want to talk to you about the subject here this evening about why selling sucks. So come on in, let's talk. But while people are coming in, let me just introduce myself to everyone that may not know me. I am a legacy building strategist and also a sales expert for heart-centered entrepreneurs, specifically women that is looking to expand themselves, grow, make impact with their message. So you're either offering a program, service, or a product, and you're basically a heart-centered service provider. And I am all about helping, empowering you so that you don't feel icky and gimmicky and overly assertive with selling your products, programs, or services. And I want to empower you, give you the tools that you need. And so I've been doing this actually now for about a year, specifically on this niche. But I've been a online entrepreneur for the last 6 years now at this point. And so you can hear about my story a little bit more from yesterday's live that I did last night. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. It was kind of more of an introduction than anything, but today will be more specific about the topic versus about me. I just wanted to at least, just lay that foundation, the groundwork and everything like that. But join me. Once you do join, please let me know that you're here. Say hi to me so that I can say hey to you. I want this to be interactive because I also want to get your feedback and your thoughts on a couple of things that you may feel when it comes to selling and such. And so I have a different electronic device over here just in case if I need to see it, making sure that I can get all of your questions or concerns that you have. But what I want to first is that white elephant in the room is talk about why the heck is selling even so just, anyways, like why does it even give that type of energy in the first place? So let's talk about some things. Maybe, past experiences that you've had with sales. Maybe sales in the past for you have been something that's been frustrating. Maybe on the end of you selling and not getting the results that you want, or for someone trying to sell to you and you felt like they were being pushy and overly assertive and gimmicky, and you just felt like you were being sabotaged or being just lied to and not very authentic. Maybe an experience that you've had, and they have left a bad taste in your mouth. And of course, if you've had a bad experience with selling, either you selling or someone selling to you, that stays up there for a long time. It does not go away, and it really taps into your bank account and with the energetic exchanges that you have with your soul clients as well. So I want you to start thinking about those experiences if you've ever had one. Make sure that you get it out of your subconscious mindset to more of a conscious level. I teach my clients a lot about journaling and just verbal processing if you have to, whatever way it is, so that you can get going towards the goals that you want. All right. So think about that. So that's one reason. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons why selling does suck. And then I'm going to talk about how we're going to make it a little bit better and make it more fun, make it more comfortable. All right. So stay tuned with me on that. But number 2 is that it requires vulnerability. So for you service providers out there, heart-centered entrepreneurs that you've been out here, showing your face, doing Facebook Lives, doing content-driven content, pictures, graphics, blogs, you name it. And it's like you're sharing a piece of you. And you're sharing a piece of your heart and your soul. You're sharing a piece of your passion. And that doesn't always feel that comfortable when you don't feel like it's always being received from the other end. Or if you're worrying about the other end. Last night I even shared in my video about how I was a little nervous about going Facebook Live on the Facebook business page, because I normally don't go live on this actual page specifically. I go live a lot in my actual tribe. Women that love and adore me, that love the topics I'm talking about. But I felt really compelled in this next month or two to really reach a whole nother audience, to allow other women to partake in this beautiful message that I have to offer, because it really does change around your bank account. It changes around your confidence. It changes around your whole life so that you can build the legacy of time and money freedom for yourselves. But when it comes to that vulnerability, that is just something else. It can bite you in the butt, because as you're sharing and telling and sharing and telling, there's pieces of you that's floating out there. So it becomes vulnerable. And in our day and age, people don't like to be vulnerable. People don't like to share their actual feelings. Think about when people say, hey, how you doing today? And everybody instantly says, fine, good, but are you really fine and good? But don't you notice in our society that it's a standard answer to this? Good, fine. Because most people don't want to share their feelings. Hey, Stephanie, welcome. Hey, Charles. I saw a couple of you also come in. So let me know that you're here. And, you know, the vulnerability piece is tough. And you're going out on the limb with your thoughts. You're going out on a limb with your passion. And it's just not easy. It's not easy for me, even as an extrovert, okay? So if you're an introvert, it's even harder, right, in some cases. But people think because I'm an extrovert that it's always simple for me to come out here and do these Facebook Lives, come out there and show up and want every day with my content. No, it's not always easy. Hey, Bridget, welcome. And so I want you to know that regardless if you're extrovert or introvert, it's still effort. It's still vulnerability. It's still you sharing pieces of you. And so that's what makes selling kind of complicated, okay? Because it's like now you have to interweave your thoughts and your heart and your soul with something that you also want as an end goal with your product, program, or service. So that's another reason. Now, right now I'm just giving you the 4 reasons, ladies, and we're going to close it up with some application, right? Something that you can apply to this and change around. But number 3 is uncertainty. So as you're being vulnerable, as you're sharing your heart, as you're pouring into your potential soul clients, now you are truly uncertain if they're really going to move forward with you with a program, product, or service. And it makes you clinch. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel like, I don't know if I want to keep offering this to this or even sharing this with people because it's just so uncomfortable to do that. And when we're uncertain, have you ever noticed when you don't know what's to come, it creates even more overwhelm and anxiety? How many of you have noticed that? Show me some hearts on that, right? So it becomes even more stressful because you're like, I don't even know what is the outcome of what I'm even doing here, but I'm doing it, right? And that's one piece that goes back into making selling kind of sucks as well. And then number 4 is that if you don't even like having conversations about money, like money has just been something that is just not tough or not easy for you to discuss. You could even have millions or thousands of dollars in, whatever that is in your cash, 401ks, whatever. But maybe you just have a hard time discussing that with a prospective client. So now you don't see your own worth in a product, program, or service. And so therefore it makes you clinch and pull back once again on offering and selling because now you're like, well, I don't even see the worth of the value of me selling this to them. But yet you can buy that program, product, or service from anyone online. But for some reason, because your name is attached to this program, product, or service, it's like, I don't know if I can sell this now. And I've been there, ladies. I know how that feels. I was there years ago when I first started in my health coaching business, and I was easily giving people full programs. And some of you are on this line, or at least in my fellowship on this page specifically, because this page was all rooted from my health coaching. It started from my competitions I did back there. So a lot of you that's on this whole page here, the Facebook Biz page, you started following me because I was a bikini competitor who was placing second place in several competitions. And so when I was out there as a health coach, I was only charging $100 a month, and I had up to almost 20 clients at some time. But I was overworking myself because I didn't see even the value of charging even a dime higher. I almost could even charge that $100 a month. It was like everything in me was charging that, but I had to pay rent. So to be honest with you, I charge only $100 just so I can pay rent every month, just to get by, right? And that's not what God has intended for us, queens. He has not intended for us to struggle, to be frustrated when it comes to these things. And so I want you to find ways to get more comfortable about discussing money and finding your own inner worth. So let's talk about some things on how we can make this fun. Okay, we talked about the 4 things that's, letting the cat out the bag, the white elephant in the room of the reasons why that selling is kind of sucky and it sucks and it's frustrating and it makes us all angry at sometimes. Number 1 is past experiences. Number 2 is it requires vulnerability. Number 3 is it's rejection, uncertainty, somebody saying no to you. None of us wants to be told no. Come on. None of us, right? And then number 4 is money. It's just the worth of you charging even for your product, program, or service. But let's talk about now, how can we figure out a way to make this fun? And the easiest analogy that I can honestly give you when it comes to making selling fun is treat this like you're dating. So how many of you are married or in some type of long-term relationship, show me some hearts. Let me know in comments that you are, that you relate to this. But think about when you did start dating your significant other, that your spouse that you're married to, or the person you started dating that you are with right now. You didn't jump in this relationship and just like, you just knew him, right? You just like, oh yeah, I know him or her. I know him or her. And I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. You had to build and cultivate this. You had to, learn his or her likes and dislikes and frustrations and the things that get them to tick and things that get them to, be happy or sad and find out past woes of complications that they've been through or trials and frustrations and the biggest celebrations of their lives. Like it's a beautiful journey of this. And I want you to think about that in terms of this whole process of selling. This whole process of selling is you dating your prospective client. Is you getting to know them more, them getting to know you more, you showing up out there. Maybe you don't get any bite on it. You're like, maybe there was a key word in there that I didn't use, or maybe there was something, the colors that didn't get right with them. And then you keep playing around just like you were in a relationship, and you just kind of keep going back and forth and figuring out with one another, until you get that nice little blend and that compromise with one another and something that energetically connects. Right? That selling is literally just that. Selling is you getting so connected to your prospective client, your soul client, that they just love everything about you, what you're saying, the program, product, or service that you're offering. You love them back. You appreciate them. You called them in. Like it's something that is an energetic exchange, but the getting to that, you have to go out there and show up, and it's still part of the dating scene. Maybe we can look at it, the relationship starting or getting married when they sign your agreement to join with you, to book your services. Okay, but prior to that, look at it as dating. Look at it as connecting, getting to know each other so much more. Selling can be honestly really, really fun. But what we do, we put too much weight on it, and then it makes it kind of frustrating. It makes it kind of like icky and gimmicky and all these other things. But if we can just dumb down the frustrations of it and actually just says, you know what? This ain't that bad. Selling is just an exchange of energy, exchange of resources, so that I can provide a transformational agent, or vehicle of transformation opportunity for them. Whatever way you want to say that. But just know that it's that. That's all it is. It's not any money. It's not about closing. It's not about you being gimmicky and pushy. It's about connecting. It's about being in alignment with yourself and being in alignment with your people, your prospective people. And knowing that you're reaching out to them. And you know that everything you're saying is hitting them. It's triggering them in a good or bad way. So I don't want you to walk around no more thinking about selling in this sleazy manner. Think about it in terms of exchange of energy, exchange of wonderful, beautiful energy that you both need. Just like in a relationship, it takes two to tango. It takes two. So it takes energy from you and energy from your prospective client. And I want you to start thinking about it in those terms and keeping the consistency. I've been married for almost 15 years in March, and I've had to be compromising with my husband. I've had to be consistent, showing up for him. There will be some moments he's giving, more percentage, and some moments I'm giving more percentage. But at the end of the day, we're meeting somewhere in here, in this realm, and we're connecting energetically, and we're finding a compromise with one another. So I want you to go out there and play around with posts, play around with videos, play around with your messaging and seeing what clicks for them. But truly taking time out to get to know them. And I actually have ways that you can specifically get to know your clients. You can go over to the Tenacious Queens Unite group. There's actually a free little download over there that you can it's under the files section that actually has a list of questions that you can start answering and getting to know your people a little bit more. Hey, Lena, welcome. And as you get to know your client a little bit more, then you can go out there and test the waters just a smidget more so that you can get even closer to them. And then you can build that consistent business income, okay? Consistent, not feast and famine, not, 5,000 here this month and then 0 and then 10,000 and then 1,000, but consistent income. And I teach my clients that. I put all my energy and time into that. These are just little, pieces here so that you can start shifting your mindset. But this is not all I can offer. I have so much more. So I'll give you a link also that you can sign up for my email list. I actually have 3 videos that's going out. As soon as you sign up, you actually get a video that's called Love to Learn learn to love selling. And then you'll get another video about closing 80 to 90% of your discovery calls. And then you're going to get another video about handling objections. Okay, but it's all in email. I won't be doing those via Facebook Live. So you have to join the email list to get it. Okay. Hey, it's an exchange of energy here, right? So if you join that, and I'll make sure that I put the link in there for you, and then you can take a look at it a little bit more and see if this, how can you get more connected? And then of course I have all types of other programs, products or services that can possibly help you catapult your impact, your money, and your freedom. So I will be live tomorrow again. All right. But tomorrow will be my last day because, hey, it will be the holiday towards the end of the week. So just know that I'm here to support you. Drop your questions in here. I'll be around maybe for the next couple hours or tomorrow to answer any of the questions that you have, because all I want you to do, Queen, is feel just uber confident in the product, program, or service that you're offering. And I don't want you to feel like you can't sell it. I don't want you to feel any resistance anymore. And I'm all about helping you dropping that resistance, because it's gone on too long for women not feeling comfortable to exchange money or not talk about money and not stand in our power. And I'm all about that. And you'll see a lot of me coming up now and all the way through 2018, because this is my huge mission. It's not always easy, but it's necessary, because all of us women, especially women of color, we need to stand in united front together, and we need to really plow through and really step in our own divine purpose so that we can have legacies. I see legacies all around here, but I have to say, for my women of color, I don't see a lot of that. I'm starting to see it now, but there's still some more work to be done, and I want us to unite. I want us to come together. So make sure you come over to the Tenacious Queens Unite group so you can just chat with other like-minded queens, and then check out that file that I said that is free to you. You just download it, and then I'll give you the link where you can join my email list, because I got all types of juicy content coming out for you in the next few days. You'll get one instantly, learn to love selling, and then you'll get the closing 80 to 90% of your discovery calls, and then you'll get another one for handling objections. All right, Queen. Well, hey, I'm glad I was able to join in with you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Just know that you can reach out with any questions or concerns that you may have. All right. I hope you enjoy your evening. Bye.